All right, my friends, you know that I am a sucker for a good anti-meta team, and today I have got one for you. We're going to show you how the bounty hunters can work in the arena. There are a few exceptions. We will cover them, but they can work in the arena. And to help me cover this subject, I have got my brother. You knew him as Newman UAI prior, but he's since changed his name to
the Senate.
What you need to say is, I am the Senate. That's how you needed to.
I am the Senate. I actually share a birthday with the release of both Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith, which was just on May 19th, a little bit ago, and so the Senate is close to my heart.
We're looking at this bounty hunters team. Now, this is a guy in our community. We're in a community called Good is Dumb, or GID for short. It's a play on Spaceballs. If you guys haven't seen that movie, if you haven't, go ahead and check it out. It's a spoof on Star Wars. And he is running bounty hunters with Han Solo in the arena. And he's having quite a bit of success with this team on offense. Now, we got a disclaimer to give on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, as anybody knows, running a non-meta team on defense is prone to drop a lot, just because everybody sees it and they look at it like, wait, what? What is that doing here?
If you see bounty hunter teams, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go in there, you're gonna hit auto. But that's not what this is about.
Say, oh, okay.
That's not what this is about. This is not the best defensive team. This is about having fun. And Bit of Tusken loves to run both Tuskens and bounty hunters in the arena. He's found a way to do it. So first, I'm showing you footage now. I've been showing you footage of the Nightmare team. Here's his attack strategy. Now, obviously, you're going to need to have good mods on this team. Let's throw that out of the way. Accept it. If you want to beat good teams, you have to have good mods. So just assume you're going to have good mods if you're going to run this effectively. The general idea here, he actually wants to kill Vader as soon as possible instead of Palpatine. Sometimes he will go for Palpatine over Vader depending on the flow of the battle. But the reason why is because you're running Boba Fett lead, and his contract is to take out the first enemy to attack, which 9 out of 10 times is going to be Darth Vader against these Nightmare teams. So you're going to stun Vader with Han. Vader will still get his turn and miss it, but the contract will trigger for Vader. Keep in mind that Boba Fett lead will equal 15 speed on each bounty hunter for debuffed enemies. That's a potential for a lot of speed, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is I think why running Han Solo is so beneficial, because it's essentially indirectly giving speed up to your team, because he's going to stun Vader immediately. He's going to give everybody 15 speed. Which then, if you have comparable, even worse mods, this is where it makes this team better on offense, because you don't have to make up the difference in your mod, your lack of speed, when you can give your everybody essentially 15 speed. And on top of Boba Fett's already giving speed in his leader ability. So,
and really, the beginning of these battles, something that Bit of Tusken told me and stressed, is that the beginning of these battles are critical. And so having that guaranteed start to the battle with Han is very beneficial. After that, you're going to want to do your mass ability block on the team with Boba, but make sure you're focusing on Thrawn, because then you'll have that guaranteed ability block on Thrawn. The last thing you want is any kind of cleansing going on, because then that is going to affect your team speed. Use Frenzy to taunt with Bossk. That will also equal offense up for all bounty hunters. Greedo should be used to remove Terminator from Sion and stun him. That also equals crit chance up to bounty hunters. And then use Hunting Party on Vader or Palpatine, depending on where the battle is at. Keep in mind that killing Vader will basically trigger kind of like your own bounty hunter Illuminated Destiny, with that contract being fulfilled. And thanks to Boba and the critical chance up, that mass assist will be very, very effective, and the rest of the team as well. And then from there, assuming you can get all of that to go well, that's obviously going to be a big disclaimer, but assuming you can get all of that to go well, get Vader out of there, trigger that contract, it's pretty smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, it looks like, at least from the footage, honestly, of all the footage that I watched, at least, the Nightmare looks like the most sound victory. I think that once Vader goes down, it's pretty much over. They get a lot of speed, they get the contract, and then it's just, you're not going to be stopping them, at least on offense.
Now, a big kicker to this team is I still have yet to see it against a Traya team. Now, I think part of this is that his Shard does not have any Treyas yet, and so I'm definitely anxious to hear from Bit of Tuscan on how he does against Traya teams, if he's faced them yet. And if I hear from him after filming this video, I'll be sure to pin a message in the comments on how he does, maybe with a link to a video. But from where you sit, Senate, how do you feel like this would do if we threw Traya in there?
You know, it's tough to say without watching it. I think Treya's leader ability looks really good.
Yeah.
But from what kind of I think the consensus is that Palpatine is going to be the better leader.
Definitely.
And
I agree with that.
know, but and so I think that with her as the leader, it might even be worse for the bounty hunters to face on offense, just because, if I'm not mistaken, her leader ability is what punishes assists.
Right.
And that's kind of what gets everything going with Bossk's hunting party is going to be a big source of damage. It's single damage to execute somebody at the beginning. And that's going to damage everybody 35% of their health if you're facing a Traya lead. So I think that the Traya lead might be worse than even the Palpatine lead. I think that they can handle the Palpatine lead personally, regardless if there's Traya or not.
I think that's a great point. Against Traya, they might struggle more. Palpatine, maybe they can manage it, but it remains to be seen. So I'll try to get some footage of that for you guys. For now, I don't have that. Now, versus Night Sisters. Now, walk us through how he attacks the Night Sisters.
So the Night Sister attack strategy is essentially the same as you would in terms of the kill order, at least. It's just a matter of getting Talzin and Asajj to die. Now, the bonus of running bounty hunters is that when you execute whichever one you want to kill first, probably Talzin or Asajj, they're not going to be able to be revived by Talzin's, assuming they're running Talzin lead, which everybody does that runs Night Sisters. They're not going to be able to be revived by old Daka, and so you can gun her down and then kill whoever's left. And so it's really a pretty straightforward strategy. Looking at the footage, it's not really even that close. This team that he faces in the footage I'm watching here is against Talzin, Asajj, Daka, and then Zombie with Wampa, which is a team I don't see in my Shard. There are a few Night Sister stragglers, and they're not running Wampa with this team. They're running maybe General Kenobi or maybe Acolyte.
Right.
But the attack strategy is essentially killing whoever goes first. Typically going to be Asajj, and so you want to execute Asajj if possible, or just kill Talzin. It turns out that it's just really not that hard of a team to face. It seems like this battle he essentially controls the entire thing. Yeah. So I think you're gonna have good luck going against those Night Sister teams.
And there still are Night Sister teams that are holding strong out there. I've got a December 2015 Shard. Not a lot of them, but I am seeing them every day on my climb. There's a few guys that are holding to them, and I'm grateful for those guys. I have a much easier time beating them now with my own Nightmare team. Are you still seeing Talzin teams over on your Shard?
Yeah, there are 2 or 3. One of them just switched, and it just turns out that all 2 of them now that run Night Sisters are all snipers. They're not in our Shard chat, and so we all just love when they make it up. It makes climbing easy because especially Nightmare teams have no problem with Night Sister teams. I used to run Jedi Ray, and that was a different story because I only had R2's AOE. That was it. But
I told you
there are a few. I
told you got to get away from Ray Jedi training. You got to move to the Sith. You didn't listen for a while. It took you a little bit.
I made it over.
So we're showing footage now of some other meta teams that he's been able to face. Now, just some final general takeaways from this team. Obviously, not going to be your go-to defensive team. If you're running this is like for you really die-hard fans of the bounty hunters out there. Here's the gimmick that makes them work so that you can at least do it and have some degree of success and have some fun. But I think watching this footage, it makes me happy for the bounty hunters faction. It also kind of makes me sad because I feel like this contracting, I wish it was more applicable in the arena. I wish it had more viability, but at least we do have some practical use for it, even if it's more niche.
Yeah, definitely. The kind of the general idea of and strategy in terms of what teams you're running in arena, I think is for offense, you can run whatever you want as long as you can get to the spot you need to. And then on defense, you kind of just want to blend in. And so you kind of need the meta to not be targeted. Otherwise, you're gonna stick out, and people are gonna wanna see you. They're gonna want to shove you back down to where you belong. And so
yeah, defense is just as much about having a good team as it is about having a team that people don't think I want to target. And I feel like I've actually almost
just
thought
having
about
literally the same team makes you less likely to be attacked. And so that's just kind of the sad, reality of the arena. You just kind of have to blend in.
True story. I have actually thought about changing my name on my in game so that I'm not a name that people recognize, because I had a guy message me. He's like, "I'm not gonna lie, dude. I target you just because you're Cubs fan, Han." I'm like, "Oh,
well,
come on."
He knows you're a noob, right? He knows you're a noob.
Oh gosh. Yeah, he's like, "I saw your galactic power." It's like, "You suck, dude. I'm attacking you." But hey,
do you even lift, bro?
Oh gosh, I'm almost to 2 million.
Do you even refresh,
power.
bro?
Do I even refresh? I have a
You're
wife.
almost at 2 million.
Kids.
Wow, look at you go.
I know. I almost got my training wheels off here. Oh well. So that's the Bounty Hunters. Great team, fun to use, maybe better in other areas of the game, but at least we can find ways to make them kind of work in the arena for those diehard fans out there. So, Senate, thanks again for joining me for the video. Always great to have you.
Now that I got a mic, I hope to make it onto more videos. I think you kind of got a monopoly on on the YouTube scene of our family, but I can keep everybody in line. I can make sure that you're getting the teasing and the making sure everybody knows, spreading the word that you've got a Zeta Chirpa, that type of thing, Ty Slicer, that type of stuff. I'll keep it civil, but
why am I doing this? Why did I consent to this? Oh my gosh. I think we should do another sibling rivalry contest on here at some point.
I'm down because I'm 1-0. I
what we need? We need
so
live PvP in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes so you and me can duke it out live. Can we make that happen, Capital Games, please? That's got to be the game mode I want to see the most. Live PvP. How sick would that be?
That would it would change the game. The arena right now kind of depends on, the defensive teams that are bad on defense.
It's all about
because
AI.
of
What
the
can
AI.
the AI
It's all
do?
about the AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Thrawn lead.
How different would strategy be if the other person had a brain? I mean, I'm not dissing the computer, but
entirely.
It's not a human. All right, well, thanks again for joining me. Let us know what you guys think about your bounty hunters down in the comments below. Are you farming any of your bounty hunters? If so, who and why? And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.